Mayam Kurumjari Duming Virbasi Impact News ni Impact Talk to Manipur connect with people you serve Thoramasibu Mijing Tabiriba Mayam Punamakwa Hanmakra Taram Nokchiri Ngasi Sumiam Gidamakta Yam the special Oiba guest Amakak Ecoino Pudran Lakchiri to tell you a bit about today's guest. She is a social worker, she is also a philanthropist, she is also a teacher, and she is also a very successful entrepreneur. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Madam Roshni Devi Thongram.
Thank you so much for having me over here, especially to the Impact TV, the whole team, and also the viewers also. I'm so humbled and grateful, truly appreciate everyone over here. So thank you once again for having me here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am Roshni, wari se hodok poina conversations start to boina habatare ma'am gi designations yam ne ya me haitare. Howzik su currently akoi gi headmistress in a Savio school kino gida lamfail gida. Labiri bani you're an educationist also. Aina pan bada bu ya hodre habatare. Adidina Madam Sigi Sigumba initiative me amakag life to am the early age ta the minor local pira kivase haidare. What drives you to take up all these initiatives habatare? Adudagi hanawari hoshi.
Oh well, if I have to go back, haidare ko. Adu agi sigi passion of education is oiba amasung entrepreneur and also philanthropist or paki sigi matang sa haitare. Since I was very young haitare, my brought up that leads to my father and mother. Yeah. Thongram Interminising and Thongram Ongbi Thokchom Shanti Devi Haitare. They didn't have much at their time, but I saw them doing things. Haitare mo na tawbirakpa mayamgi haitare. Later su mayamgi na magta tawbirakpa have say ping I didum ureva. So that kind of had a link. Haitare ingon adugi inspiration ma yaw ba haitare. Oh si mataraga di penthok pa have say oibra kana ping I dum khalak pado. Then after that so blessed and privileged or na ay mapalam dum tamba hawre ko yang anay right after my nursery I think, and I did a little bit of my study in KG days try to then after that I was sent outside to study. Adu di mapalam chalo padi exposures different or credit ko. Adu wakalon say kay tare always as a student also as a young student also I was always kay tare mayam gi tawding basi dum po eba whether in a small ways or something, but I always want to do something for others haitare
social work
yes ko adu mina help say taw basi dum tor eba in different ways haitare. So one incident I will tell you is that when I was in college my dad would send me my pocket money, but what I used to do is that I used to save aside the pocket money. Then there used to be these two classmates of mine from Africa, and then their semester fee was not paid. Adu mo semester fee the pay taw drum na mo tamhalaroi na hai bagi potala. Then I took out from my pocket, my own saving pocket, and I said, "No, let me pay for them." That's how I did it. Then at that time, I wanted to know how have the satisfaction, contentment, feel. So I think doing that, starting from there itself, I just slowly Then I thought like this is the way. Ama choba tawgira pick na tawgira, but ay legacy ma leho patagadi miyami kenoma tawbiram bahay pato. That's how I think it all began from there itself.
Yamna su nungai ba dagi yamna su humble oiba journey ama kakni ngasi bawgi life ki journey sa damain toroga lak piri bese makata na mug azuki haibi ba matang da ma'am gi resume to so aina han yingzaw matam haitar. You have been around the world doing all the conservation activities dagi Kenya da Africa da dagi African slums things da especially underprivileged oiba dugumba people sings the humanitarian service me am to buget go me am thing as a hider. I think ma'am na elaborately mine highway when hin and my how was the journey like thing na bit of experiencing adugi matang da so dum worry live.
Yeah. So first and foremost, Africa usually we people have this concept in our mind, right? That Africa yamna slum oiba area but it's the opposite actually. Africa is a very rich continent There is where I was located was in East Africa. Although yamna rich oiba country never, but yes, certain areas the moigisu akoi India to sucha manana ko. So I was based in Tanzania actually. Ado Tanzania the lerga is a entrepreneur gi establish ma tawre isagi restaurant ma tawre. And then I was traveling to Kenya I think for searching for my head chef or something like that, but I went to Kenya. Ado Kenya chapakanda, one thing I noticed about Kenya is that everybody was literate. Everyone could speak English. The small kids to the guy who is driving the taxi to they were so literate, and they were very smart also. So that gave me this thing like poor country somewhere down the line they are oiragasu yamna education gi matang de moise forward oeva. So one time I decided to visit one of the places where there is a children home haitare. Adu chakma matamda, that's when one of the carekeepers, wardens haitare mo hai, ma'am, why did you visit the world biggest slum na hareba engonda. I never thought I'll go there also. Adu chappa matamda ai se ithanda ikai bama power eba ngasi bok ta nang sele iba chara iba nang na ule iba myam se you are so privileged nang namana pa gi hotna ba gi mamandagi yam nungai na nang se haidi pokla aga tawing ba kushida taw phangi hai tare ko. But look at the children over here, you know, dire condition da lai ne ba severe dire condition da adu phauta ai shetliba aina keno ngasigi chaningai leibo leita boy ai school madi chakani ai ngasigi simadi tawni habi mogi agenda se is very clear even though they are in a slum haitar. So I think that gave me a wake up call, you know. Does not matter what you wear, it does not matter how much expensive watch you have or bags you have, nangi self of thinking adu nangi self of character gi nangi belief se si se chana dragadi ko miyoi bagi wakhal yaw dragadi karibu kana gani su khale ba. So I think going to Africa is my biggest wake up call haitar. So that's how it woke up the humanitarian feeling in me as well, wanting to do more for the community. That's what I think.
Thank you so much. What is your nungari madam adagi kugi Kenya ge dugumba episode ma'am gi live ke episode gi wari duni oxig libi base makata na su wari sanagi se madam break macham tang lomi nagi se marak thatna
Thank you.
marak thatna break macham tang log jage break ki matung da madam ga nungari wari watai gi loina miyam gi damakta talk to Manipur, connect with people. Yourself Hanjer Kige Impact News pu mijing tadran review.
Step into the world of luxury with Classic Hospitality Training Institute. Admission for 2025 is now open. Join our one-year hotel management course covering front office, food and beverage service, housekeeping, culinary arts and workplace skills, plus a 4-month internship with the Classic Group of Hotels. Visit us at Hotel Imphal by the Classic, North AOC, Imphal West. Call 6909358685. Your journey to a great career starts today.
Alpha Center of Excellence na mayam gi damakta nungaiba pawma puduna lakchari lakliba megi date 12 tagi hauraga NEET IIT JEE amadi ND gi course kar haujargani loina na hantakta 10 pass tawkraba satra singi damakta 2 years integrated course amadi dropper batch loina na class 11 amadi 12 ki oiba foundation course amasu hapchaga dauri yamna athu matamda admission tawsenbiyo.
Break ki matung da mayam taram nokchiri break ki matung asida ko gi Madam Roshni ga wari makhata jige Madam Roshni break ki mamang da koi mayam se ko gi viewers mayam se so madam you take us back to Africa, you told us about Africa gi reality do haibatare the visualize the hon bi haibatare mind tawrakanda not only humanitarian service katang natabida ko gi elephant conservation ki matang da so Africa da wildlife conservation matang da so madam gi work mayam khaglai khrabani haibatare aina khangjening is coming back to Manipur ma'am se has like education sector da so the minor changa aga lai grabani St. Savio school da koi head mistress oina minor lai grabani haitare sigi sida mapalam dagi European countries dagi underprivileged river countries mayam sidagi the minor acquire the workiba koi knowledge acquire the workiba experiences mayam duna Manipur la akanda Manipur ki education sector sida habatare madam ki mafom makal bamatam sida ko have the kaya mu yamna mating pang bi du ki matang da so haibi
I believe kaitare ai experience mayam se ko lifelong experience mayam sidagi sum yeng pataraga di of course every field chalpo matamda you learn something right you learn something but at the early stage that you learn tawre haiba matamda whatever situation you are put in you can never satisfy everyone. That's one. And secondly, what I've realized is that any pamama changmo, especially if you are young, everybody will be ready to point a finger at you. Hai tareko. Adu taigi koksida duhana yaugreba. Kay no dina incident machama haiseke ko. Africa daina restaurant ama begin home matam dene. Africa is a gold mine country. Okay, so when you want to start something, all the rich elite people will get the information right then and there. okay, and they will decide whether you will be counted in the business or not. Hai be pot se adu ai senior most oiba ahan hai tare 75 60 years oiba ahan sing se ai phamalaga hai ba Miss Roshni, why are you entering business? Why don't you sit at home and sell bags and shoes? Ngonda hai adu ai ngonda kitang hurtful oiba ngonda
offensive.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. I di nupi masa so oire ko adugi pot da hai tare. And then I said to myself that no matter what somebody says to me, I will do what I have to do, but in a more polite manner, but I will go for it. Adugi learning me amdo hai tare ko adugi experience thengnar po me amdo when I came back here in Manipur right after COVID hai tare COVID matung na di thabak se phang ba se yam wana ki hai tare. So I visited a particular school, very infamous school actually, and I said I really want to work here even though you don't pay me. I'll work here as a counselor. Okay, you know the agi master's in criminology with psychology oi bani na ko I do do in a work top zagi as an intern harga. He said to me ibe ma khoi Manipur de du chat na di ko ma pa da ai sa se counseling tong hai di angau phagi type ta khan gi ni na hai ai se amuk puning se nuai tre. But then my father is my biggest support system. He said, don't worry, you'll get another one. Don't worry, he said to me. I said, okay, fine. Then finally one day my brother dropped my CV to St. Savio school, and then the rest is history. The founder, he called me upon and he did my interview. I went for as an English teacher, but right then he said, you know, you know management gi sisu am tawre, so why didn't you run as a headmistress haiba? So I say okay fine, I like challenges as well, so let me see. But taking up the seat, it is no kaitar piece of cake oram dre ko education is na complicated complex yam oram eba. So I had to shed off all these foreigner ki ideas se cocktail lok thok ta ba yadre ba. I have to be in Manipur ko maiti nu pm oina chat na bisu khang ba adudegi kaitar mong mataw su hai tai ne aduga related oina global degi tabak pa myam se locally related oina mu ai se relearn to ba hai tare ne ko admain tawraga hoi experience na di ai am strong di o helai ko as a personality oina, but at the same time learning as an educationist or banina every day is a learning thing hai tare ne ko adu maina I say kai tare sigi pham si da laga carry on to hai tare sme
yamna sunu ngai ta za matam da you know that part where shading of all the western mentalities is important because Manipur idea ba karma yam kan bane
yes
ni bas yamna kan I'm very sure you must have experienced
yes
yamna sunu ngai ta za matam da ko adu su respect to go da
mane yes
anyways adugi matang la su am fasna so hojik se handle to bi ne khale and then you know sigi schools institutions so ma'am goi gumba personality am ka glai bas su am na moi gi oina se am lai bak for same time future generation gi oina se am lai bak for yeah adugo makhata na moi na khangjaning bas madam education gi matang su lak puni there are some topics that I want to discuss with you hai tare akoi gi way forward hai tare education system in Manipur and way forward ki topics there koi lak pa matam sida madam akoi gi in your comparative studies when you ko matam sida hai tare in India ge education system ama dum lai ga doine NEP 2020 so hojik follow ta una makana honari habatare sigi marak sida when you compare in Indian education system and when you compare Manipur education system, what are the differences that you saw in your path?
Ai ha kino sida ko observation da hai tare ko the see totally vast difference. Okay, very much difference, and I feel sorry for my students as well, really. Okay, you know the private kina mu different oi greba, private kina mu competition se khatang different oi re. We are in the hustle and tussle the oi greba ni na ko adugi private ki yawi ba students sing the mu teachers sing say they are on the leash all the time. You have to do this, you have to do that. We're looking at them at all times, but when it comes to the government, Mr. KANEL, I feel really sad. Because one time as an experiment I visited one of the colleges, okay, but they didn't know I was this thing, they thought I was among the students. So I was visiting there and then the classes was going on. Then I asked one teacher a question. He did not answer, he did not acknowledge me. He just sat whole throughout that 45 minutes of class and he left. Adu ibataraga di satra sing ka minus ko kaningani adu re satra sing da kari no moina adu da ai college ma kare ai school ma kare haibagi motivation se kaino balai to se ko forget about the NEP policy, that is like far fetched for us. Akoi education gi far fetched oi greba. Only some schools are able to implement that. but basic oiba ozama oibagi mathau pangthok haibase sise yamna basic oiba potse akhoi adubo accomplish to deba. If you go and visit right now to all these colleges, to the government schools, look at the toilets first of all. Look at the classrooms first of all. There's not a proper blackboard or whiteboard or phazana thambi deba. Ta dogi kai dogi benches yeng view. Ngakang thing over the angang sing tilai khumbi chuba khopa. All cases are there, and half of the time girls get UTI. Why is that? Because if you see their washrooms, it's in such horrible conditions. Adu laiba conditions se kamaina kogi satra sing se changninga kai tare education se forward tongninga doina ba, and that's also why one of the reasons why parents have this mentality class 7 8 lorga di natraga 10 lorga di ai sa se mapan thagani hai se. But such talented students, we are not able to retain them here in our own land, in our own state, is because akoigi education system se aigi wakhal dadi pura failure neba. Aduna sarna hai bado kari observation legi hai tardi potentially am wang na lei ko, but tawbi da banina ko tawbi da missing na tawbi dra banina the requested government as well as the respected they are not doing that, and funding to zero. I don't know where the funding is going to. They said that, like, if you hear the center's news and reports and about the funding, it's 100% they're giving more to every state, right? But I don't know where Manipur's funding is going to, because look at the condition of the schools, government schools, look at the conditions of the colleges, universities, the opportunities the students are getting. So you take an example of sociology. Sociology mlobiyune angang sing survey chapam batam da kai chake, as simple as they take them to some museum and that's it, done. Sociology oiba suk yamna interesting oiba subject se kamaina angang sing da adu khak chalaga nangi survey tor assignment tor adu tor, what perspective are we giving to our future generation? So my observation, in short, coming back to your point, is that NAP 2020 policy is a far-fetched. First we should try to teach and change and unlearn and relearn the new ways of how we can cope up with our students. Hai tare adu oina khalle sa
yam sanu ai je taza matam da habdi aina su way forward se kai wai ga do na hangje ge taw ne habda ro mem na hazik at the end of your point da hai bi de habda yam sanu ai je me makhata na aina matam su khar le moi
yeah
makhata na aina hangjening ba se madam kari haigani hoziki matam se hoi akoigi education systems di mayam ga yeng nav matam da habdi based ni ladies e makhada ni ladies yet still chocolate kano dia de
yes
sinatra AI actually tongan ba modern technologies mayam ka chu maya actually ga lei habatar hozik angang mayam se when aigi kano da angang na hen smart ore ha when it comes to technology we are the millennium and moi the Gen Zs are more smarter nowadays. Ona ke doge ham sanven to have they use this chat GPT and stuff like that, adugumba mayam do loinamak angang mayam se aware oira kan da poklak pani na chaumba da mobile phone painere na hawai di sana pai ba dagi phau pai ba le ram si mobile phone painere hai da angang sing se. So sigi matam sida akoi gi teacher perspective ti ek matam the teacher sings di kamaina, how would you want our teachers to equip themselves to be able to survive or to be able to adapt in this kind of environment?
See, akoigi akoigi Manipur gi oinadi, we are all kaitare haina zabi haigadra old tradition methods neba haujibok ta chathari se ko even till today so far akoi na ngasi ta ibu mongsu old tradition style da ta ineba aduna ozagi kok te su ahum bama hai tare ko like a mobile, we need to update ourselves every now and then. Hai tare adu da example aina task ma pireba haidi technology ga samna ba hai tare ne, like for example you give us a PowerPoint presentation, but using the smart way of presenting hybrid, the teacher should not take it as a I'm adding extra work on your table. Instead they should take it more like, okay fine, now I gotta change things out, I have to relearn and I'm going to do my best. Have motivation or encouragement or masada power never. But instead if you take it more like, oh correction we will never be able to breach our generation gap. Now when millennial Gen Z Gen Z alpha beta kids are like so way ahead than us. Adugi mindset to pukat na bohot na bataragadi, we the educators have to keep updating ourselves. But sadly again, update I've been searching, you won't believe, for my last 2 years I've been searching somebody who can come hai ta khoi Manipur da base oina hai ta ko laga takpi ba yana bagi mi sing se thi bata not available at all. Aduna what the best way our teachers can do is that do it by themselves online. For hybrid to batare labor pots the YouTube to yenga how to learn to yareba. Aduna I believe the hybrid is the best solution and online program yam leriko ozagi learn to yaba how to AI Gemini do app this app there's so many things available. So I think teachers should be more motivated than the learners right now and become the student once again. Do AI say I don't think we should totally depend on AI because if you depend everything on AI, emotional intelligence wala aniba, emotional relationship wala aniba. Use the AI to make your teaching and like more better and enhanced, but not depend totally on AI.
Plus at the same time, I have the AI generate work and also detect so app teacher must be equipped with that.
Yes, exactly.
Students genuinely assignments detect ma'am adubu impact talk to Manipur sina ma'am but madam, we have a lot of questions left. At the matangi episode,
not a problem. It's all right.
Continue to bugi. Yeah,
not a problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Masiga Lorena Impact TV na paring na Dr. Talk to Manipur, connect with people you serve. Matanga swide lojere matangi episode amuk madam Roshni ga unajaduna. Akoigi education sector in Manipur and way forward hariba topics hen elaborately amuk nainajanabagi tanjad logjage ngashigi damakta di miyam dagi kaina biya thangnijeri pinabirasi.